Hey everybody, Bill Uhler here for the Music Gallery. Thanks so much for checking out my videos. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. Also, check out my YouTube channel where you'll find a lot of free lessons, and also the lessons have tabs for those lessons. I have free tabs available. If you leave your email address in the comments below the video, I'll be happy to send you the free tabs. Okay, so I've been taking a look at soloing over blues changes using major pentatonic scales. Today I'm going to continue with that a little bit and add to it. This one will be in the key of G, so the three chords in the key of G are G7, C7, and D7. G7, C7, and D7. So I'm going to play a major pentatonic scale from the root of each one of those chords. So for G, okay, so that's a G major pentatonic, the 1, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 5, the 6, and the 1. Those are the scale degrees in the major pentatonic. Okay, so the next chord in the progression is C, so I will play a C note on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Okay, or I could also put that on the 3rd string, and I might play it both ways. So C on the 2nd string, C on the 3rd string, 5th fret. Okay, and then also for D, we'll start in the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, D major pentatonic. Okay, or we can play that on the 3rd string, 7th fret, C, 3rd string, 5th fret, G, 3rd string open. Okay, so those are those are major pentatonics from the chord roots. Now we're playing over 7th chords, so we can add another note in there. In the major pentatonic scale, for G we have the root, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 5th, the 6th, and then back on the root. So in a G7 chord we also have the flat 7 note. In this case is an F for G. So I'm going to add that to my major pentatonic scale. Okay, so you hear that in the blues all the time. Okay, and then another thing that we might hear is, okay, so that's adding the 4th to the scale. Okay, so it's the 4, the minor 3rd, and the major 3rd, back on the major 3rd, which is in the major scale. So it's above the note, below it, on the note. That's also a G note. Okay, and then we'll do that for each chord. So for C we have D, C again, and G. Okay, the other thing we might add in there is 6th intervals. Now 6th intervals are notes, or interval is the distance between two notes. The two notes that I'm going to play happen to be a 6th apart, so I'm going to start with a B note on the 3rd string, that's the 4th fret, and a G note on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So if we play the G Mixolydian scale, we count the notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 notes apart, 6 scale degrees. All right. So now if I follow the scale, I go from B to C to D in the G major scale. On the 1st string we have G, A, and B. So we put those together. Okay. For C we'd be up here, 8th fret, 9th fret, then 10 and 12. D we'd be up here on the 10th and 11th frets, 12, 14, 12. Okay, so those are called 6th intervals. All right, you hear them all the time. And then also I might do for C, I'll do it on the second and fourth strings. So there's a C note on the second string, first fret, and I'll be playing an E on the fourth string, second fret, and then go up a half step to the third fret, both fingers in the third fret, and I'm on the second string, fourth string, go up 2 frets, and then if we move that up 2 frets, we'll be in the key of D then, over the D chord. That's for D, for C, and G. Okay, and we can also do the G up here. Same notes. So those are 6th intervals. We put that with some of the other things that we talked about, major pentatonics, adding the flat 7, the 4, the minor 3rd. Okay, so I teach a lot of students, and whenever we get on the subject of improvising, I try to explain to students that think of it as, you've got a toolbox, and all these ideas are just a tool in the box. So whenever you're soloing, a lot of times students say, well, I don't know what to play. Well, if you know that you have some tools in the toolbox, you can select one of those tools and begin with that. Once you get really good at it, you can get creative with your rhythms and that kind of stuff. In the beginning, you might just have to memorize the patterns, but eventually you'll get to where you can, like if you were strumming a chord, just kind of feel free with it, You'll do the same thing with playing single notes. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to take these ideas that we talked about and play over a backing track in the key of G, and we'll maybe break it down a little bit more afterwards. So here we go. Key of G. This is the major pentatonic. Now we got C. And the D. C. Some ideas of stringing some things together. Now, I did get into the minor pentatonic a little bit, which I think probably a lot of you guys may already know. The reason why I wanted to get into major pentatonics and the intervals was because I know a lot of guys that when we start out soloing, most guys will use a minor pentatonic scale. So, if you know the minor pentatonic scale, you can include that as well when you're playing major pentatonics. And it's really that interplay between the major and minor sounds that makes solos sound so great. If I did a lick like this, and And then I did. So there I kind of answered it back. You get that call and response. Now here's the C major. Now I'm going to play G minor. So that went back to the G minor pentatonic there. So you can hear that. Here's the major. Kind of bright, happy sound, right? Kind of country-ish. Then when you throw in that minor pentatonic, it gets a little bit grittier. Okay, so anyway, so when you're soloing, it's really a combination of using different tools. And I definitely would say if you're new to improvising, you'll probably want to start out maybe with just using the major pentatonic scales to begin with. And then C. Back on G. Now I'm going to D. C. Alright, so I hope this video is helpful. Once again, my name is Bill Uhler. Please be sure to check out the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. There's a lot on the major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, soloing over jazz changes, and also just learning songs. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you, thanks so much for checking out my videos, and thanks again.